John Cena said he don't want to have no damn kids, and neither do I. I just seen a little clip of John Cena on Shannon Sharp, uh, Club Shay Shay, talking about how, and and Shannon asked him, you know, do you want to have kids? Have you ever wanted kids? What's the future looking like for you and your partner? I think he's married, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, he says, I don't want them, never wanted them, and I agree. I've never sat around and thought about having kids. That's a what I think people don't understand is that having children is a lifelong. It ain't just until 18 or 21. It's a lifelong thing. As long as you're alive, as long as it don't matter if your child is 50, as long as you're alive and you have children, that y'all both still in this world. You have some kind of, maybe not responsibility as like taking care of them or making sure they get fed and stuff like that, but they're still attached to your name, and the things that they do, they will kind of negatively impact how people see you. And now people's like if you raise a child and grow up to be a serial killer, people are gonna look at you like, well, this who y'all raised. I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Dahmer's parents, I mean, even uh what's the Columbine kids, I think one of their mothers, I think it was Dylan Klebold or whatever, his mom was like, people, I mean, I think she had to move, you know because people, I mean, obviously it's like, what were you doing? Well, what were you not doing? You know what I mean? Um, you see a lot of child-free videos and stuff like that, from a lot of people who saying, "Look, I just don't want that responsibility." And let's dead something right now. When people say, if you don't want to have kids, that you're selfish, I really think that's the most retarded argument you could ever make. That's so dumb. How is me not having children? How is somebody else not wanting to have children? How is that selfish for the world in general? At least I'm acknowledging. At least the people are acknowledging. I don't want to. I don't want to be financially, emotionally responsible for this child. You know, I don't want that responsibility. It's people out here. It's crazy, and what really gets me is there's a lot of men who have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, and they're not in any of their lives. They're terrible fathers. You know, and they look at you. You don't got no kids. You 35, 40 years old. You ain't got no kids, man. That's crazy. And they start thinking all kind of shit. Maybe he gay. Maybe he. You have kids and you're not even in their life. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So see, parents like that, they're adding to the fucked upness that is being a human being. You know what I mean? That neglect, the abuse, stuff like that. That see, people get excited about, oh, we're having a baby. It's not a baby after a while. It's not a child after a while. And then it becomes this hateful teenager that were once, we've all been there once. You wanted to be around your parents because you needed to be around your parents. Then when you get around, 13, 14, 15 years old, you can't stand the thought of hanging out with your parents, because you got your own friends. You want to be around people your age. Your parents are old. They lame. you know, you just don't want to be around them. You know. Then you get grown and you're nice to them when you need some money. you know. Excuse me. But yeah, no. I mean, like I said, um, I think more and more people, especially men, are starting to realize it's what's the point? I think a lot of people too, they want to have kids because they feel like it's just something that you do, and like you'll get bored. Well, what's going to happen when I'm 45 and there's nobody in the house? It's like, why don't you get the fuck out the house? Go find something to do. Find an activity to do. Join join some kind of club, or make friends. You find something to entertain yourself. But that's what a lot of people want kids because it brings them some kind of, because children do bring some kind of like entertainment. And especially when you have to raise them, making bad grades in school, you got to discipline them. Like I said, when they get older, they start talking back. Then they go want to learn how to drive. And then you got to teach them. Then they call in somebody they got into a wreck. It's all they, it's all, you know. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting that, you know. But I just don't get the whole, you're selfish if you don't want to have kids. When there's people in the world that have kids and are not doing the best they can, not even doing a subpar job, doing a horrible job. And then I can't even say raising their children. They just, men and women. And that's not selfish. And John Cena got a lot to lose. I mean, he's a very wealthy man. You know, I ain't got shit, but John Cena, he got a lot of wealth. You know, maybe he don't want to be used by his kids. You know, for money. Maybe he don't want to be used. You know, because like I said, I think he's married. I don't even know why he did that, but whatever. You know, maybe he don't want to play the game of you can't see your kids this weekend because you made me mad. Like people don't understand. Women do that. They play with kids. They play with men's emotions about their children. You know, and you can't see your kids this weekend. Now you want to talk to you got to call me first. All that kind of shit. People don't want to put up with that. You know. So like I said, I'm liking. You know, people are not afraid to say they don't want kids. I always like watching child-free content, stuff like that. Um, John Cena don't want kids. Neither do I. And neither should your crazy ass. You right there. If you don't already have kids and you sitting there thinking, no, I really want kids. Don't do it. You know you crazy. You know you crazy as shit. You know your mom and daddy, uh, your daddy wasn't in your life. You know your mama was abusive. You know you got a lot of trauma to work out. Don't be just running around having kids, just because. You know, take the necessary precautions, be safe, and work on yourself. And I understand women have it a little different. Women can't be having kids when they're 50, 60, years old. Men, we can. As long as we can rise to the occasion and we ain't impotent, we can have kids when we're 90. You know, women play a little different. Their biological clock's a little different. Really about like 35, 40, 45. That's kind of when they really shouldn't really be having kids. But, you know, like I said, that to me, like that thought right there to me is selfish. You want to have kids so bad and you just ain't ready. You know. Now you can say you can argue that you'll never really be ready, but don't think, well, because I'll never be ready, I'm 20% there, so I'll never be 100%. No, no. Work on yourself as much as you can, you know, and realize some of the things that your parents did to you as far as discipline and things like that. Do you want to keep them? Were they good? Were they beneficial? Did you learn from them? Or did you feel like they were just doing what their parents did, you know? And they didn't really try to take time. That's why we have a lot of this helicopter parenting and all this stuff now. A lot of it's just damage control. We just, we went from a long time, a long time. It seemed like parents didn't care about their kids at all. Like you hear about, my parents and how their grandparents are how, which would be our grandparents, their parents raised them. They used to say shit like, if you felt like you had anxiety, they said we didn't have anxiety and all this kind of stuff. Now imagine that anxiety is not new, you know, but they just didn't know. It was just you shut your ass up and do it anyway. Kids picking on you at school, tough shit, you know. Um, you gotta, you got some kind of ADHD, ADD. They didn't have any of that, or they didn't have those conversations. It's just you better sit your ass down. I'm gonna whoop your ass, you know. So we trying to correct that. And anytime you have that, like I say, you're trying to do damage control, it creates these little these helicopter parents that they're they're really trying to do the best they can, but they're trying to shelter their children from the world, and that's not good either. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to have kids. Don't see the point in it. It's a lifelong thing. It's not just until you're 18. It's not just until they're 21. It's forever, you know. And they could put you in a home and all you did was The worst thing you ever did was not buy him a damn Nintendo 64 the day it came out. You got it to him, you got it for him later, but you didn't get it the day it dropped. And now look at you. Now you in a now you in a nursing home because you know, or you about to die and they don't want to come see you for something as simple as that. You know. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. You got kids? Do you not want to have kids? Do you Are you on the fence about it? Or do you think like me? You think we should just put a pause? Like, how about we just stop for? You ain't gonna stop forever. Just I'd say about 10, 15 years. Just let's just regroup. Let's get some shit right, or as best as we can. I don't know. Let me know what you think.